Britain suspends aid to Ukraine due to financial problems. As we know, the European Commission has an unelected leader, Ursula von der Leyen. UK has an unelected Prime Minister after Liz Truss resigned after 45 days, and he is Rishi Sunak, who's been in there for, 3 days now. And of course, UK has a new king, King Charles, former Prince Charles. But UK also has tremendous financial problems, as do all the countries of the European Union, even though Liz Truss yesterday promised Zelensky of Ukraine that the UK will be paying the Ukraine 1.5 billion euros a month. Now, Britain comes out today saying that Britain will suspend aid to Ukraine because of financial and economic problems that the country has. Foreign aid freezes for 2 years in all countries that were financially assisted by old Albion meaning England, of course. The British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak will stop providing financial aid to Ukraine due to Britain's severe economic problems. It will appear as a freeze in the foreign aid budget for another 2 years. This is what the Telegraph reported yesterday, citing well-informed sources. In essence, Rishi Sunak is preparing everyone at home and abroad in Britain for at least a partial withdrawal from support for Ukraine. Of course, because he is the leader of his country, which he has vowed to support and help. So let's see if other European nations will do the same. We know that France, Sarkozy said that Ursula von der Leyen had no right to give Ukraine aid because that was not in her scope of authority to do. Let's see what other European countries are going to do. Now, in fact, what awaits is the looming crushing of the Democrats. According to polls, they'll lose control of the Senate and Congress in the midterm elections of the U.S. November 8, in a few days, and by the Republicans who have repeatedly declared that the U.S. will not remain the ATM of Ukraine. In the USA, Americans are angry that the Biden administration and extremist circles that control it are pushing the country into a nuclear confrontation with Russia. All this while fuel is becoming very expensive and hurting the American middle class as well. If the Biden administration is not forced to soften its stance on Russia, then everyone in Europe will continue in the same pattern that inevitably leads to economic collapse and even worse situation after that. One of my viewers said that she has friends in Germany with a newborn baby, and they right now can't afford to heat their home. And what are they going to do when the real winter cold comes? Now, a nuclear war possible, a freeze, quote unquote, of financial aid to Ukraine by Britain, and probably after November 8 by the US will mean the real end of Ukraine's war effort. Shipments of additional MLRS from the British have already been frozen. They will supply Kiev with 50% of what they were given in weapons during Johnson's time, and with no money at all. That's Boris Johnson, and no money at all. Britain's foreign aid, that's Boris Johnson was the Prime Minister before Liz Truss. Britain's foreign aid spending is set to be at 0.5% of national income. 2 years ago, the government cut aid spending to foreign countries due to the blow to the British economy from COVID pandemic. Sunak, who was finance minister at that time, said last year that aid spending to foreign countries should return to 0.7% of economic output from 2024 to 25 fiscal year. However, according to the Telegraph report, the possibility of extending the cut in foreign aid spending for another 2 years until 2026-27 fiscal year is being considered. The Sunak government is pushing ahead with spending cuts and cancelling tax cuts at a time when rising costs for mortgages, food, fuel, and heating are hitting British household budgets. This I've translated for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.